All right, can everyone see?
Hmm.
Yes? Okay,
Hmm.
perfect. So take a look at this last 1 hour candle, you guys, that we're seeing. It has traveled a total of 1,000 pips so far, which isn't out of the ordinary for Bitcoin at all. So as you saw in the chat earlier, I did call a buy off of this resistance in that dark black, the 48,996. We've used that spot a ton. We've used it as support. We've used it as resistance. And then my next level was at that 49,325. And then I have a very light resistance. And here's kind of why I drew that box. The last time we saw this area back on this day, which was on the 29th, there was some very strong wick rejection around there. So I was going to see if we could see some of that with this candle. You can see it's still going, but Bitcoin travels, 5,000, 3 to 5,000 pips, I would say, on average per day. So this, what it's doing right now, is not out of the ordinary. The biggest thing is we're just wanting to look to where it falls and which level it's going to catch. Is it going to catch the 49,325 resistance? Is it going to catch my light resistance right here on this wick? We're not sure. So again, I called out our sell on this one at 48,996, but if you guys remember, that trade did not actually activate. I always like to really specify that in my signals to wait until trade activates. So I had, if 48,996 hold resistance, we'll be looking for sells. If we will see validation if we see a candle tap it and hold below with a red open. Please wait until it activates to follow these directions. So I'm hoping none of you guys are in the sell yet. I did not hop in that sell as of yet either. You can see we kind of had a fake out candle right here, go down just a little bit, and then we got this big 1 hour candle that we're seeing right now. But the bright side to this is that I did give you guys this buy yesterday, right off of this support in the orange. And if someone were to have stayed in that trade, they would have caught almost 3,000 pips on that trade alone, which if you're trading the lowest lot size, which is like a 0.1, that's a good, $200-300 for you right there, which is absolutely insane. So with this trade right now, what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to see where this one closes. So we're going to see, what resistance level it's holding, or if it even catches one at all. The next thing we're going to watch for is this next 1 hour open. We have 11 minutes left on this candle right now, so you can kind of see it's starting to retrace off of that wick right now. So we'll see what happens. There could still be people in my Bitcoin buy trade from yesterday, but I'm always looking for my next opportunity. In this 48,996 area, we've taken a lot of opportunities off of already. You can see it's just been such an important area historically throughout time, even if I zoom out even further. So we've used that area a lot for resistance and for support as well. So we will see what this one does. If you are still in that buy, you're absolutely deep. And I'll call out when we do have our targets hit on these. So technically my target on this one was this 48,996 resistance, since I knew it was a very heavy resistance level. That's why I have it in that dark black, because it's been a very pivotal zone for Bitcoin. But if somebody were to have, taken their take profit off, or continue to move, your stop loss level up, you can still continue to catch pips all the way up. So really everyone trades differently. I know some people that don't even put a TP and a stop loss into MetaTrader at all. They just watch the charts. That's why I always will put in the chats like, hey, like I would recommend putting alarm on this line, because then you can get used to trading, without that level inside of your MetaTrader app on your phone. Obviously, if you're like out and about, or if you're busy doing something, make sure you have a TP or a stop loss in there. That's a given. But definitely when you're trading in these markets, you're going to want to be watching these trades. These trades are not meant to hop into and just leave your phone for a couple hours, or even go to sleep. So if you're someone that's like about to go to bed in a couple of hours, just be cautious. I always recommend not to trade at night when you're sleeping, because then you're not going to know when to get out. And I would say, even though MetaTrader is a little bit easier when you're on the go, it's still not meant to just kind of leave and let go, because you're going to make way less money that way, versus you paying actually attention to what the market's doing. So we're going to wait on this one. 8 minutes left on this 1 hour candle. We still have some really strong blue volume on our MACD down here, and obviously we reclaimed back our EMA down here on the 50. That's what I'm using here. The other thing I wanted to talk about really quick was one of these altcoins that I'm into. I haven't talked about this one probably since I was with IM, so probably like around May or April. This is a project that I got into. It's actually going to be a social auction app to where like celebrities, influencers, athletes, they're going to be able to sell, things like meet and greets, dinners with them, different items like clothing, jerseys, all that stuff. They are in pre-launch right now. They do have a couple of big influencers working with them already. Logan Paul is one of them. He was sponsored by this coin in that last fight that he had. But nevertheless, Superbid actually burned 14 million coins from their reserve today, which means, obviously with the rules of supply and demand, the less there is of a coin, the more it's going to be worth. So I actually have this one on my trading view now. I would recommend looking at this on the line chart, because the candles are absolutely crazy. It's versus Ethereum. So it looks a little bit different on trading view, but you can still really see what price is doing. And the reason why I'm talking about this is getting in around this $4 area, I would say would be a good place to buy into this coin. Just because you can see that we have a support that's kind of been forming. I'm going to turn this one back to line 2, just so you guys can kind of see this a little bit. For some reason it's not letting me switch back to line on here. Reload this. But I would say, anywhere under $4 would be a good spot to enter in on this one. You can see it's up 11% just today alone. So definitely right now could be a good time to buy in. If you guys don't know how to do that, I actually have a video that I posted inside of the crypto blogs, which was actually on to buy a different coin called Opacity. But to buy Superbid, it's literally the same exact process as Opacity. Obviously, you'd just be swapping your Ethereum for Superbid instead. So definitely watch this video if you're looking to get into altcoins, building a crypto wallet, etc. Because this process that we use to buy this coin that Kenny called out is going to be the one that we're going to be using a lot of the time. So that'll be good for you to get this wallet downloaded as a Chrome extension on your computer. And you can just kind of check your wallet whenever you want. They've got a mobile app too. It's called MetaMask. So I didn't want to talk about Superbid as well, just because that was some big news that they took some coins out of circulation. Let's check on Bitcoin again. Yeah, so definitely would wait until we see a couple opens. I probably wouldn't get in any more trades with Bitcoin tonight, if I'm being honest. If you're someone that stays up like really late until 3 and 4 in the morning, go ahead and rip it. But I'm personally not going to enter in any trades for tonight, just because, we'd still be in our swing buy here, and our sell opportunity that we had never fully activated. So does anyone have any questions? I'm going to check the chat really quick. What's your long-term view on crypto? Oh my gosh, that's a hold for 1 year, 10 years. Oh man, who knows what's going to happen with the future. But, as we've seen, even just this last year, the whole entire world is going digital. And with the crypto markets being so decentralized, they're not controlled by any certain person. and newer coins are coming out every single day. These movements that we're getting on Bitcoin and Ethereum are absolutely massive. Like I'm gonna hold my crypto forever. I always say to people like, hey, never sell out of all of your cryptos. You can take profits whenever you want, but never sell out of all of it. I definitely think that it's the future, but that's definitely a conversation for a different day when I have a lot more time. But that's just kind of a summary of my thoughts on it. It's going to be around. It's going to be the future. So.
Yeah, I was going to say, Ryan, how I kind of look at it is like a stock portfolio. I just keep my cryptos in the same category as my investment portfolio. So kind of whatever you do with your investments, if you're a long-term holder, if you like, more taking profits and trying to play the market, but like Mallory said, hold.
Oh yeah. I already saw some people in the Discord today too that were like, "Oh my gosh, I wish I would have bought more with the dip." And that's one thing with trading cryptos, especially, is managing the emotion side of things, is not being afraid when we're seeing price, 30,000 on Bitcoin. That's where you put those emotions aside and all right, you're going to buy in, because that person that would have done that a few months ago is seeing some heavy percentage gain on their portfolio right now because they bought the dip and they weren't scared. And there's the opposite side to that, which is when we're in a space right now when Bitcoin's at 50-60,000 eventually, is not having that FOMO, because there's always going to be that trade that you could have taken. Even an example from yesterday, this buy that we called out, that's super deep in profits, 2,000-3,000 pips in profits right now. You could easily be a person that's just sitting here like being like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I missed out on that buy, or I can't believe I got out too early. You got to learn to like set that aside, because it's going to make your trading a lot better. There's always going to be a trade you could have taken. There's always going to be a time that you could have bought in. You just have to really think with your logic instead of your emotions, and really watch what the market is doing. Where is it at in its cycle? Where are your support and resistance level? Where's the trend? Drop some fibs if you want to. Even when you're buying in on portfolio, you can get entries that way too, which is a whole different ball game. But biggest thing is just managing your emotions. MT4 is super hard to trade. I've had my bad days myself, but just put those aside and do what you can do, control what you can control, when you get in, when you get out, and then when you take profits, and then obviously your entries, your risk, etc. You can't control what the markets do. You can't control when you could have bought in. Just know that you're going to live another day to trade. Markets will always be there. So it's my little rant. But yeah, that's pretty much all I had. Keep watching it. Like I said, if you're going to bed, I probably won't get in any more trades today on that.
Perfect. Well, guys, thank you for hopping on. I know some people got a few clears. Overall, not the best binary session, but we'll be back. And there's a few more sessions tonight. Just be careful with, your risk management. But appreciate you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. Have a great one. Bye.
Hey, guys.